Hey, good morning. This is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life, bringing you a daily word for men for March 27, 2025. And the word for today is deliverance. And this is the biblical quote: His light broke through the darkness, and he led us out into freedom from death's dark shadow and snapped every one of our chains. And that is from Psalm 107, verse 14. And this is the commentary. Have you ever been held against your will? It just doesn't happen in prison. Most kids experience it in a classroom. It's the adolescent looking out the window, not engaged at all in what the teacher is saying. He saw the surf report in the morning, and all he has thoughts about is tide that has come and gone when the break would be at its peak. He wished he were not in class. From his arrivals to school through all his classes, the anticipation has been building. Ring, the bell sounds, and there is immediate liberation. The young man quickly escapes the parking lot, his car hot from the sun, rolls down the windows, and speeds off to the beach. When we take time to think on it, we look forward to the days when we will have no stress, pain, fear, anxiety, and sin. All that we do will be filled with peace, goodness, joy, and righteousness. That will be an amazing liberation. What excites you about entering in eternity? Well, first, I'd like to address the quote. Obviously, this is a psalm that recounts the Jews coming out of Egypt. And Psalm 107 through 14. And here it says, Have you ever been held against your will? Not purposely held against my will, no. But when I was a kid, the year that I graduated from high school, I was 16 that whole year. And then just as the summer came, I turned 17. And I got a job at the Boys Club where I swam. I taught what they called at that time tiny tots lessons, little kids. Uh, and I also taught swimming. I was a competitive swimmer. And I got a call one day that a boys club on the other side of town was without a lifeguard. They had a whole bunch of kids that wanted to go swimming. Now, I had been to that pool. Uh, I generally knew my way around. So I went and I worked from, I don't know, 6 to 10, I think it was. No, I didn't have a car. I wasn't like the kid in this uh, explanation. No way. I didn't even get a car till I was 26. I couldn't afford the insurance. And when I was a kid, my father said, no insurance, no car, and I don't have the money to give you the insurance. He didn't, 10 kids in the family. So I just used to bus it around, and they told me that when I got out that they would pay for the cab for me to go home. So I said, okay, I'll do it. Well, it was an easy night watching the kids swimming, and I closed up the pool, closed up, everything. And the boys' club was in two sections. The front section, like, I don't know, that's where all the games were and the gym and everything. They had to go through a tunnel under a hill, and you came up in the second section that was the pool area. Well, I don't know if whoever took care of the building knew that I was there, but I was locked in. I couldn't get out of the building, nor could I get anywhere else in the building. and the phone had a lock on it. One, you had to have a little key, and I didn't have any of that stuff. They just let me in the pool, and I guess they forgot me there. So I said, "How am I going to get out of here?" I mean, they had bathrooms in there if I had to stay overnight. Okay, but I wanted to get out, so I picked up the phone, and I finally, I kept hitting the button on the phone. We don't have that these days, but you pick up the receiver and boom, 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 boom. And finally got the operator. I told her I was stuck in the Fox Point Boys Club in Providence, Rhode Island. Please send help. I have no way of getting out of here. And about an hour later, help came, the police and the director of the boys club. He said he had no idea why I was locked in there, and I didn't even have lights, so I kind of could feel my way around if I had to go to the bathroom or something. But it was, I can imagine what the feeling is if you're really being held against your will. Yeah, and I made it home okay, and I never really worked there again because uh, I had a pretty busy job. A lot of parents want to get their kids learning to swim, and so that's my story about being held against your will. And I did, however, uh, my senior year was 66 and 67, really a high time of the Beach Boys. And I had all those surfing songs and Jan and Dean and a lot of the groups all in the surfer sound. And I wanted that so much. Oh, did I want that? Just to be able to go out of school and go to the beach in Rhode Island in the winter. You're not going to the beach. Sometimes the water's frozen on the beach. You're not doing it. And that was a dream of mine. You know, but it didn't work out. I did get a swimming scholarship. I swam, and I got through college without having to pay any money. But I always had that dream of going to California. I haven't been there. I've only passed through. I was in San Francisco waiting to get to Hawaii to go to a scuba dive. But those are some great times. Now, what excites me about most entering eternity? Well, we are finite beings as it is right now, so our minds can't wrap. All we've seen since we've been born, unless you've just been born a few minutes, you see death and the destruction of the earth and how things are getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Uh, so a new eternal world where you don't even need sunlight is something that, I don't know, it's difficult to grasp. And my mathematical mind is is blown away too. Like I can deal with infinity on paper, but when you have an infinite time left to go in your existence, it is mind-boggling to me. So this is what excites me, and the knowledge of God that He'll give us when we see Him face to face. So there's so many things to look forward to for those of us who believe. So that's it for me. I wish you all a very happy and holy Thursday. God bless, and we will see you tomorrow.